Alright, we're back. We got ourselves that same shower beer that was in the unboxing video. Star Sender's American IPA. Should have called this a Northwest IPA so that we can differentiate ourselves from those who forgot about bitterness. But, same beer. It has Citra and Strata, and it's 7.3% right there. And it is a juicy one. I like it. Alright, kind of in a hurry. As of like 1 minute ago, my buddy, it was his dad's funeral today. Dad died kind of suddenly, and yeah, so he asked me if I could come hang out, so I'm gonna bust out this shave and run out the door. So, Beaudelaire, Barrister Mann, this is one that I had to buy the soap by itself and then the aftershave afterward because of the great alcohol shortage of 2020. Barrister Mann stopped making aftershave splashes for the majority of the year, and so boom, I got the aftershave in a recent mail call, and whenever the EDT gets restocked, I'm gonna buy that too because I really do enjoy the scent. You can see where I scrape some of the soap off, but otherwise it's a very smooth pour, some of the smoothest pours in the game. And this stuff smells great. It's kind of a dark fougere, so it's a green scent, but it also has that mousse de saxe that makes it quite dark and like leathery. You know what I'm saying? Really good stuff. All right, we got the Lancaster Razorworks shave bowl right here, staple of my daily shaves. And inside, we got the Turn and Shave right here with the emerald and gold. Beautiful brush, got the flutes and all. This one was pretty much made for this label. I mean, pretty much made for it. So, let's wet the face and get right into it. We're going to be using the carbon again. It's funny, I don't own a carbon, but I have two carbons in my possession right now. When I visited So Sharp David in California, I left my straight razor with him, and he let me borrow his carbon, and that was very nice of him. I hadn't tried the carbon and stainless steel up to that point. I had only tried the carbon and titanium, and so that was very nice of him, and that definitely is an enjoyable razor. I do enjoy the carbon. I believe he just has the plus plate or maybe the standard plate. But friend of the channel, subscriber of mine, and again, I'm doing this all on the same day, so I don't know if he wants me to mention his name. I didn't get permission to do so, and it might seem silly, but I don't want to step on any toes, especially when people are kind enough to let me borrow their gear. But he's a subscriber of the channel. I recently started chatting with him, so it's not like we have a huge history. But cool guy, generous, and he must think somewhat highly of me to send his carbon and 3 base plates for me to borrow. If you saw my mail call video, carbon and 3 base plates, as well as the handle variant that doesn't have the little indentation in the middle of it, which I really don't enjoy, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. But this Excelsior soap always makes a great lather, and that's gonna have to be good enough because, like I said, a little bit in a hurry. This is only my one and only beer, so don't worry about me driving. Alright, we got a Ladas Blade, Ladas, which I've been using a lot recently. I'm using a lot of Ladas. It's only got 1 shave on it. I don't know if, yeah, it was just a blemish. Okay, so God, does my lighting suck? Or have I just not made a video in a while? Carbon razor, you can see the amount of overhang. I'm not a guy that cares about that sort of shit, but damn, there's a lot of overhang. And then on top of that, it's just I've talked about it a lot. I think the carbon's ugly. Let's look at the handle. This is normally where the indention is, and this one is almost flush. So all one width, and I think I'm going to enjoy that a lot more. Now, it is very smooth right there, but it has knurling on top and knurling underneath. So 2 out of 3 fingers will be on knurling with my normal grip, and I don't think we're going to have any problems. Now, I am using the plus blade, or base blade. So you can see right there, plus. And this is the stainless steel variant. So let's get into it. We'll see how it feels. But first, you kind of see the amount of blade gap there. If it would focus. A lot of blade gap. A lot of blade overhang as well. A ton of blade overhang. Or blade exposure, I should say. A lot of blade gap. A lot of blade exposure. From the naked eye. I don't have the stats because I'm in a hurry. I do have like 4 days growth though. I know I just posted a video yesterday. Sorry, I had an itch. I know I just posted a video yesterday, but that was from days ago. I got back from my California trip, did a week's worth of work, and Friday night, I packed my bags and went to the Gorge Amphitheater, which is in Washington State, and if you're unaware, it's a pretty famous venue. And the buddies talked me into going to an event called Bass Canyon, where basically EDM, varieties of EDM and, bass music are played. Now, I've never listened to any EDM or bass music with any regularity whatsoever, but the friends wanted me to go. They seemed pretty excited about it. They said if nothing else, there's gonna be beer and camping, and I don't really need them to twist my arm for beer and camping and hanging out with my friends. So I threw down the money, packed my stuff, and went, even though I just got back from vacation. And I'll tell you, at this point, I really just want to stay home. I really want to stay home and not do nothing. But we'll see how that goes. I don't really stick to my plans that often. I make a lot of bad decisions. Anyhow, I had a fucking blast. But let's talk about the shave a little bit. This does have a fair amount of blade feel, but it doesn't feel threatening whatsoever. It's actually quite comfortable, and I'm enjoying it. Alright, let's get a little bit of moisture on the face. Let me put a little bit more moisture on the neck. I can still feel a fair amount of growth, but hopefully this against the grain pass will knock it all down. I only do with and against, and hopefully I don't regret that, considering I have so much growth. But I am using their plus base plate, so it should be pretty fucking efficient. And it felt like there was a lot left over. But on the same token, it looked like there is a lot of hair removed, considering what is in my sink right now, which is very gross and you wouldn't want to see it. But there's a lot of hair that has been removed already. It just also feels like there's a lot left. Alright. The V4 tip knot, very, very, very jelly, to the point where it feels slightly like slimy, is the characteristic that I've designated it. Slightly slimy. It's definitely not my favorite gelled badger knot, but gets the job done, I suppose. You just gotta load heavy. Alright. Try to paint that remainder on there. That'll do it. Get that soap off my hands because this stuff is slick. Against the grain. Now, on that first pass, I didn't notice any issues with the handle. When I'm using the other handle that has the indentation in the middle, I would constantly feel like my finger naturally slip into that divot. And I didn't like the grip that it kind of forced me into. Like, it didn't feel comfortable. It didn't feel natural to me. And therefore, I spent a lot of my focus thinking about how my hand isn't where I want it to be. This one here, I'm not getting that same annoying feeling. It's actually just fine. Like, I don't notice any problem with the lack of knurling right there, at least not on this shave. It kind of just makes me think like they should have just put knurling the whole way through, though. I know I'm probably being nitpicky, but I kind of like, if you just left the knurling off just for looks, I feel like you kind of did a disservice, because I don't think it looks good. I still don't think it looks good. And there's certainly no advantage to having a patch without knurling. So it just doesn't make sense. I don't really like Carbon's handles. But this one's certainly better than the other one. But still, unfortunately, I don't think it's my cup of tea still. Now, I've almost completed the shave, and I could tell you that definitely has some good, or it's definitely comfortable, sorry. I'm just thinking about my friend, and I'm kind of a little bit, my mind is wandering, but sorry about that. I just redistributed a little bit of lather so I could get this kind of across the grain action. I had a lot of growth, so I just want to make sure I'm getting it all. Oh, look at that. I knew I had a blemish right there, but I thought it was holding strong. Well, I almost made it the whole shave without any issues. But it goes to show how comfortable it was. I didn't even notice that I actually took the head off of that because it was so comfy. So even the plus plate is a very comfortable shaver. The handle there, much better. The handle without the indent, the one that's all kind of flush for the most part, I like that one a lot better. Alright, let's rinse off. Definitely knocked down some growth, man. I almost don't even want to put that water on my face because there's so much so much hair in there. Got a lot of cleaning up to do. Alright. Alright, let's get the Lancaster towel. Always a pleasure to use the Lancaster towel, or any Lancaster product in my opinion. Some of the best shave accessories or shave gear, whatever you want to call them, on the market. And I don't know if you guys saw, but he's starting to make razor handles. I should say he's kind of like in the practicing amateur stages, so it might be a while before he actually releases razor handles, but the journey has begun. He's on his way, and I cannot wait to pick up one of those when he finally gets good at it and feels comfortable with releasing product. Alright, I think I got the majority of it out. I'll save the rest for off-cam cleanup. I don't use alum often, but when I bought my Homelike shaving start razor, they sent this little alum stick for free. So you just twist the cap off and you have a stick right there. Stick of alum. I'm going to dip the very top of it in water just to get it wet. Go right over that spot. I don't typically use alum, so I'm not going to do like the whole... Well, maybe I'll just do the neck. Fuck it. No stinging other than where the blemish was. So that's a good sign. Then I'll just leave this out to dry. Alright, let's get a little aftershave splash on. This is what I've been waiting for. Beaudelaire. A very nice fougere with leathery mousse de sacs. Quality aftershave. Flow restrictor on top. And I went a little bit heavy, but that's alright because I really like Barrister Mann's aftershave and I really like this scent. So, no harm, no foul. Just get a little bit of that everywhere. Lock in the flavor. Get all the residual on the forearms. That way I create like a scent bubble, you know what I'm saying? Alright. That'll pretty much do it. The Homelike with the plus plate, mowed down, 4 days growth. I did end up getting a BBS, and the only real wound was a blemish. So very comfortable, even on the plus plate. The handle, I enjoyed it a lot better without that indentation. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. You know who you are who let me borrow this razor. If I have your permission to mention you, I'll mention you in the next video. But I really do appreciate you letting me borrow your carbon. Cheers, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. I hope you have a good week.